Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging in tight. This is Kinderella. I am Mary Droppinz' photographer, videographer, and tour manager speaking here. Honored to have that title. All those photos and videos you saw, I have taken. Our talent, Mary Droppinz, will be here shortly, so please hang tight. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, for letting us know where you are tuning in from. This is a special Femme House class. I am playing music for you guys in the meantime. The class will begin shortly, so please hang tight.
Fix our What's up, everybody? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Everybody knows who. Yes, UB is in the house. See Austin here too. Let's go. Great to see y'all. Sorry I've been so busy online and shit lately because I've been in the studio. I almost even canceled today if I'm being honest because I've been on the grind and ideas are just flowing. So, but it was good to come on today and I'm excited to be here because I know unfortunately we had to cancel the past few ones and apologize for that. So thanks y'all for still coming through and yeah, excited to see everyone here. Amazing. Where's everybody tuning in from? I see some familiar names. This one was like, oh, Sarah, yeah, of course. Happy to be here. I was literally in the middle of an idea and I was finding this bass sound for it and I was like, oh, I gotta go. So I was just like a little frazzled when I came through, but okay, cool. We got all over the place. Let's go. Okay, sweet. Scotland, nuts. Awesome. Chino, California, first class. I love that first class experience. West Virginia, nice, nice. Okay, cool. Well, welcome everybody to FEMME House DJ 101. It's your teacher, it's your girl, Mary Droppinz. Today, I'm drinking lots of water. Today I'm gonna be running through a couple of the, little things about these CDJs, what I do, how I got started, and answering any questions. Shit. I only drink fancy water. I've been this way my whole life. I like the good water. Okay, cool. Enough of me going off on my cough tangent. Anyways, I thought would be cool for today to kind of kick off is just like on the decks. We've done the classes before where I've gone into Rekordbox and been on the software. And, you know, I think we can do that one the next class that we do. But for this one, I just wanted to give you an overview of the CDJs here, the mixer, what I'm looking through on my USB, which has, you know, all of my music that I pre-put in there through Rekordbox. I analyzed all the tracks through there. And yeah, so basically a little bit more technical stuff today and going through the decks. And then I just want to also open it up. Feel free to throw out questions throughout. I'll try to answer everyone, and then otherwise I'll leave some time at the end and we can go through any questions that anybody has. And feel free to ask anything outside of technical stuff with DJing if you have any questions to just marketing or you know, digging for music or anything along those lines. Happy to help do a little AMA, if you will. So plugging my USB in. Cool. Okay, so let's get you over here onto the decks. Hello. Oh my gosh, I didn't even wear my rings. I always wear rings when I play too. And I'm like, I realized I really just ran out of the house to get here. But I'm using a 64 gigabyte USB. The Sans disc is great. Rage is another great brand. What other brands like? I mean, I just stick with SanDisk, like, so it's been good for me for that. Never had any issues. So I usually just do 64 gig because any more than that, I just am gonna like abuse that and overload it with a lot of tracks. And you just don't want to get in a situation where something can't be read on some other CDJ at a random venue in Michigan or whatnot. So it's best to, I just like to keep it low and then also have just backup USBs and additional ones with me all the time. So once USB is loaded, you can see right here that I'm pressing USB because it's in this port. So if I was doing link, it would pull up the other USB that's located over here, but I'm on my USB and I color code mine to pink. It just helps me, especially when I'm playing, if I play back to back or if I'm playing and someone else is playing before me, I know right away which USB is mine. So yeah, once you go in, you can see all the stuff here in the menu. Like you can just sort all the tracks. Like you don't even have to have playlists. Like literally, here's all my tracks. Like, oh, worked. There's so many. But I could also go in if within the tracks and I could sort them by BPM. Nice, that feels a little better. So I'm like, all right, if I'm in my 160 game over here, we'll keep it all together. You know, this is like, I think super helpful to be able to have that all sorted, and that's nice. So yeah, that's one way you can like look for tracks, or you got your playlist already created. And you know, for example, holy shit, I called it holy shit. I don't know. Sometimes you just do things to name it yourself, whatever you want to name it for fun. And got all my tracks in here, and they're all sorted by BPM still since I arranged that already in the sort menu. I think that's just nice to do, especially if you're mixing multi-genre, like, you know, to have things within the same BPM range. It's helpful when looking for what to play next and feeling that out. So yeah, that's pretty much like how it all is on the playlist side. Let's pick a track. There's so many. That's the other crazy part. There's so many tracks. The CDJ that we're on right here, the 2000s, I personally prefer the 3000s now at this point, but I'm still friends with Killed with Kindness, even though they only have the 2000s here. Just kidding. But I just like the new one because for me, the layout, the capability that I have with it, it's just been a lot smoother, and that's what I have at home. So also playing on what I have at home is super nice because I'm just a lot more, fast at everything with that. But yeah, 2000s, 3000s, kind of all in the same at the end of the day. So load up a track. My track. You can see to have the track playing, you need to have this channel up. I know you really want it. See? That's how it. These are all just like, just showing you the basics of things that you can do here, which is just queuing up a track and pressing play. Out, in, out, in. Cool. So once you've got a track going, you're dancing, you're vibing, you're creating the energy with that, you're expressing how this track makes you feel and listening to it. I mean, some people just want to focus on being technical, and that's fine. Just be what's natural for you. But in my case, I really enjoy being able to share how this track makes me feel and why I chose it, because every track I choose and every beat I make, it's intentional. So with that, tracks going, vibes are being set. I'm over here and I'm on CDJ number 2, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna mix in next. So let's make a decision on what to mix in next. And I'm gonna also go to my playlists here from the link. And then we'll sort it as well by BPM. Sweet. Yeah, so we'll just play this track. I'll have this one up, and then you'll hear me. I'll mix this live so you can hear what I would be hearing in my headphones. But if I was playing this live, this channel would be down because I'd be getting it all prepared and ready in my headphones so that when I bring this up, they're matching. The beats are matched and we're all good. So let's have this channel in, and I'm gonna live mix it for you so you can hear what I have to do. Pink Lamborghini, tiny bikini, sex in the sauna, I know you really want it. Tiny bikini, sex in the sauna, I know you really want it. Too good for your liking. Just do it like this. Just do it like that. Just do it like this. Just do it like that. Sweet. So you could hear, like, when I'm pressing play, like when I have all of these EQs up, you could hear it coming hot because you hear the bass hitting. So, Let's just have them hitting them at the same time. Okay, cool. So you can kind of feel like, you know, what's going on with these two tracks, but I would normally, you know, in some instances, it's fun to just blast it and start the track right on top with everybody listening to it. But in most instances, that what's going on right there, what I just showed you, is going on in my headphones. So I'm getting that all ready so that it's smooth when I bring this track in and it feels like it's a part of the other track. And that's just like blending and mixing. So obviously there's different types of things to do while you're DJing, like blending, mixing, double drops, cutting, looping, effect stuff, filtering. But yes, they're the exact same BPM that I have set here with the master tempo. So I'm always adjusting this first. This is like most important. Like once you pick your track, you're over here. You're getting it on the right exact tempo as the other track that you're mixing it in. So were they the actual same BPM originally? No. This track is a little bit faster than this one, but I feel like it'll work. You know, I just made a decision based off knowing my tracks. But you can make those decisions based off of, you know, BPM, if things are in the same BPM, or key. So you could go in and be like, all right, well, this is an A minor track. I'm gonna mix it with another A minor track. Or, you know, you can set it on the, I think it's like alphanumeric, and you could be like, this is a 4A, then I know if I do a 3A track, that'll be fine. It's just one below that 4A. So it's in the same realm, I'll be good to do that, or just mix with another 4A. So those are kind of things that you can debate when you're trying to decide which track to play next. I recommend staying within the same BPM is probably the easiest decision when you're first starting. And then, yeah, when you're doing all of your mixing, there's different ways to do it. Right, what I just showed you was kind of like blending it. We could do a, let's see here. We could do a cut. Unsupported file format. See, this stuff happens sometimes. But it worked on my 3000s, so that's just also something with, I mean, that track that's not working is one that I made. So potentially I've screwed up something, but it works on my 3000s. So, you know, stuff like this, you can run into stuff like this all the time when you're playing on different gear. It's part of the game, you know, technical difficulties. They don't scare us. They make us stronger. Let's see.
Bossy, bossy, Godfather, man a OG, man a half humble, man a bossy. Fling a rag a rhythm like it's all free. Bossy, house on the coast G. My money so long it doesn't know me. It's looking at my kids like I'm bossy.
So yeah, you can make quick switches like that. I just made that one up. I don't even know if those two work together, but you know, you can just change up when you're mixing. Instead of doing the blend, just cut it. And then I'll share some more about these EQs so that you're up to speed with that. I'll cut out the low EQ and you'll hear that right here.
I was in the high road, armed and dangerous, dangerous, dangerous.
Out the mids. Any vocal. Hi-hats are out.
Armed and dangerous, 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 dangerous.
Vocals gone. This track is an unreleased track by one of my friends called, his name's Snuffy. So if you're using the filter and you want to cut the high pass, this is what it's going to sound like. In the low pass. You see that? You can still hear like the bass in that one a little bit, right? So it's cutting out all the high sounds. This guy up here, the clip, usually you like to keep him stable, you know, just keep all of them on the same, but sometimes you got some tracks in here that have like new producers, or it's a new track you bounced yourself and it's just not mastered yet, or like, I don't know, it's not as loud as the other ones. So you may need to just kind of boost that a little bit, but honestly I use it sparingly. I use it mostly, yeah, to just boost a track that might be lower than the rest. And keeping this just pretty even throughout between the two tracks, just so one's not more powerful than the other. You know, if it was like, whoa, you need to have these like balanced right here. So yeah, that's kind of a very brief overview of the EQs, the channels here, how to start a track, few different mixing styles. I'd like to open up to any questions, as I don't know, you know, where everyone's level is with this. I like to teach these one-on-one classes very basic, very like slow, and just the few things that you really do need to know when you're first just like getting your feet walking like a baby. So if there's any like a little more advanced questions, happy to answer those too. But yeah, just want to open up to any questions. Okay, cool. Yeah, so for analog turntables, I think I have them at the same BPM, but after a few bars, they start to split again. Any tips? Honestly, I just feel like that's just the nature of when you're playing on turntables and playing with wax. Like, it's just kind of like, you know, and some people's tracks that are produced, like, they might speed it up in the track. So it just could be like the track as well. I would just say, you know, muscle memory and like being able to adjust that on the fly is probably your best bet, or avoiding any specific tracks that do that. What controller do you recommend for beginners? We're gonna say DDJ 400. I had the DDJ 400 when I first started. Cute. I love that. I also started with Tractor as well, but if I were to recommend anything today based on, you know, my experiences playing and touring, it would be to get a Pioneer controller. Just to be able to get used to being in the record box sphere. All the clubs have CDJs. I know CDJs are out of price range, but the controllers on Pioneer are great. And there are some that you do have to use record box and get your USB prepared and put into that controller. So I would recommend that. Oops, I missed some questions. Okay, mostly in setting keys, the CDJ I've used has 4 square buttons that can help with repeating measures and setting cues. Okay, cool. I can do a little cue run through. I think it's typical for vinyl. Do you use hot cues for anything right now? I keep track of potential lead-ins. Yes, hot cues, go through that. XDJs to CDJs. I don't necessarily have any tips to going from XDJ to CDJ. It's more just on the browser, you know? It's just a little different. You'll totally figure that out. Which EQ setting would you start with to bring a song in? I definitely, when I do like to mix, I like to have the bass low, like the low end EQ out, just so that it's not overpowering the tracks and you can really hear the blending between the drums. So, and switching the bass is just like, I don't know, tried and true, like the best. Okay, cool. So, and then which EQ setting should we start to bring in a song? Okay, we did that one. Where do you get your tracks from to begin? Other ones you make yourself and getting from friends. Yes, so I get all of my tracks from Bandcamp or SoundCloud or Beatport when I need to, but I'm mostly on Bandcamp. I do all my digging there. Maybe a question for later, but I'm curious about what goes into your set list. My taste's all over the place, but I like to be more cohesive. We're preaching to the choir. I have a very broad palette as well, and you know, but all of those encompass, you know, the mood that I'm trying to set for that evening. So even if there are different genres and whatnot, I still think it can be cohesive. Even if you have like different tastes in things, you can find a way to make it cohesive in the way that you mix, and maybe blocking certain things that do work together to create an energy with that, and then making a switch to something that's totally different. So I like to kind of use the block method, like keeping things all in a little, you know. Any tips on looping? Never tried. Okay, looping in EQ. And then do you always manually beat match every song, even if it's maybe one? Yes, I always manually beat match. It's a personal preference. I'm proud of being able to beat match, and I like to do that. What Omarawa said ×2. Also headphone recommendations. I always use the Sennheisers. I mean, they're janky. I like to keep one ear out when I'm playing. This out, because I got to hear what's going on. This up, and this style, brand ear. It's just so like ergonomical. Like, I don't know. I'm a Sennheiser girly. And then, do you always use headphones or just visually cue? I'm using headphones when I'm out all the time. Visually cue, like when I'm at home or when I'm just hanging with friends, but I'll have my headphones with me. What is the difference between 4-channel and 2-channel controllers still in the market? It's just like if you want to be able to use 4 tracks at one time, you just starting out using mixing with 2 tracks is totally fine. Like, you will learn a lot and can advance to the next level when you want to start adding a third deck later. Like, don't like overpressure yourself. I'd say the 2-channel, like, to get the basics down of it and in the groove is great. Oh, really? I said your name quite well. That is, thank you. I literally was just telling my friend the other day, I feel like I pronounce everything wrong, but okay, cool. So I'm gonna run through a quick loop and then a quick EQ on, or a quick cue on the fly, because most of the time I'm queuing up my tracks in Rekordbox. So on my computer, it's already pre-mapped out. I've already queued it up where I want it to queue up. So I will show you how you can do it on this here. Let's start with loop stuff. It girl dub, let's do it. If you know, you know.
Bitch, you know I'm sexy. Don't call, just text me. 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 Don't Don't call, just text me. Bitches slow, can't get on my speed. They stare cause they know I'm the. They're cause they know I'm the. They're cause they know I'm the. ITGIRL. You know I am that girl. You know I am that girl. You know I am that girl. Bitch, don't kiss and tell. It's girlfriend ATL. ITGIRL. You know I am that.
Okay, so that's how you set the loop, is you have to press in to set it and then out to lock it in. And then over here, I'm just changing the rate of it. So it's at a 4 beats. Now let's go 8.
ITGIRL. ITGIRL. ITG.
Bye. But yeah, that's how you can do all the looping. You start it here, lock it in here, and then you can adjust it. And when you want to leave, just exit. Get out of there. Okay, cool. So that is the looping function. Now let's set a little cue point. Right here, you see all the cues.
You know I am that. The fuck? Bitch, you know I'm sexy. 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 Don't call, just text me. Bitches slow, can't get on my speed. They stare cause they know I'm the.
I also have set this while I'm on the decks here. And I could have set this in advance. Like, say, I want to set it to here. I don't know what this is.
ITGIRL. You bitch, you know I'm sexy. ITGIRL. Bitch, you know I'm sexy. ITGIRL. You know I am that girl. Bitch, don't kiss and tell. It's girlfriend ATL. ITGIRL. You know I am that bitch. You know I'm sexy. Don't call, just text me.
Yeah, so you can just set those in your headphones before on the decks here by engaging them where you want them to be. And then you got your cues. But I would recommend, like, you know, to avoid any issues, to just preset your cues on Rekordbox. And then you don't have to worry about that. But when I like to set cues, it's on like vocals, when a bass line comes in, at a good outro point, a good place for you to mix. Say that you have a track that has all these like crazy synths and pads and things going on and acid and blah, 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 blah. And like, when can you mix in the next track? Like, that's a great cue part to set. So then you're not just sitting there like, oh, just cause like, you know, you're downloading so much music all the time. It's hard to remember everything of how the track goes and whatnot. So that's why it's great to set some cue points. Yeah, so that's a cue in the loop. And And I think that I got to all the questions. I hope so. Oh, okay. Do I recommend Serato? No, I absolutely don't. Sorry, I don't. If I were to choose between a type of a deck with software that you use on the computer and you need your computer, I would go Tractor, Native Instruments for sure. That's because that's what I know. And I just feel like it was a lot smoother to transition over to the Pioneer realm from Tractor. I don't have too much experience with Serato. It just kind of ran away when I first saw it. I don't know, something about it. Sorry, Serato. But okay, cool. So that, and then how did you get started DJing, and were there any particular resources you found helpful? Great question, Sarah. So I started DJing for fun, like after work, got like that DJ 400 that someone mentioned earlier that they are starting out with. It's a very small little DJ kit, and I was just like playing around with a couple tracks and having fun doing it at home, because I had been going out in like the SoCal rave scene since like 2015, and so I got intrigued by it. I was like, this is so cool. You know, growing up in Nebraska, I wasn't exposed to like DJ and festival culture. So when I was out here and living and experiencing that, I was like, this is fire. I feel like super connected to this. I feel like I could do this. And so yeah, I just got some gear. I had already been like creating playlists, and like I'm sure everyone here has their type of music that they like and their best, like their favorite songs, their favorite playlists on Spotify and Apple or whatever. And so, you know, just you had that mentality, and then you get the decks, and then so it's fun to just start that experience. You know, it's like it's never ending. Like I'm still learning stuff after 10 years since I first touched decks. And now as a producer, I mean, I've been producing for almost 5 years, and I was just telling my friend that I was talking to you about it. He was like, "Oh, your music's sounding like so much more cohesive," and I'm like, because I think maybe I'm starting to figure it out. It's like it's like you're never going to, like, it's just, it takes time, and you know, like everything, and it just is it's a fun journey, honestly, it really is. So that's kind of where I got started. And then resources, it was going out into the community, listening to other DJs play. So going to local bars, supporting friends that were just starting to DJ too, you know, making friends with other DJs, jamming with them, DJing a house party for your coworker for Cinco de Mayo, like stuff like that. That's like what I was doing. And then I eventually just went to the local bar in my, where I was living in Venice at the time. And I was like, I want to do Thursday nights here. I want to play house. No one was playing house on Abbot Kinney at this time. And the guy was like pretty hesitant, but I was like, I promise, like we'll bring a lot of people. And there's like lines out the door every Thursday. It was cracking. So, you know, word spread, and then other people saw on my social media that I was DJing because I was posting about it. And then other promoters got inclined to hit me up, and just, yeah, it's like, that's how it really started. So, okay, was it an easy transition to do producing? Do you have a music background? I honestly, I think it was an easy transition to start making music after DJing, because, I mean, I do have a little bit of a music background. I played piano. My dad's an amazing drummer. He did it as a hobby though. So I was just, you know, a music head. I would always go to like emo shows, and I was just like always collecting music, had like the big, you know, CD case thing going on. So it's just like, you know, I was like into that. But I don't think it was that hard to get into producing as a DJ first. I think it's pretty fire actually, because I knew from DJing my experiences, like what makes people go off, like what kind of stuff I like in a track that was like why I was downloading it. And so I already had that set in my mind when I started making music. I was like, yo, this is the type of stuff that I'm into. I like these sounds. And I was like able to really identify with that. I feel like sometimes some people that maybe start out as producing, they're making like classical stuff or pop or things, but then they want to try to get into dance music at some point, and it's a little bit of a, I don't know, I just feel like it's an easier transition as a DJ, like I really do. But yeah, I feel like anyone's story is great for them, and but I want to make sure that my DJs out there know that they don't need to be afraid to start producing. Like, you absolutely got it. You have taste, you have style, like, you know what sounds good and like what to do to like change up the energy in the room or whatnot. So you just apply that to producing. And at the end of the day, when you're mixing tracks, it's kind of like you're producing on the fly. Like, I'll be bringing in, you know, like I talked about the high end and I'll only have that come in, I'll take out the bass. So right there, I'm already hearing like tick, 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 tick. I'm bringing in hats to kind of layer on top of this track. It's like you're producing it. So it's awesome. But anyways, what was the most helpful thing you learned in the beginning when learning to produce music? What was the most helpful thing you learned in the beginning when learning to produce music? I would say I really got into a comfortable space of just jotting ideas down. I didn't get into this perfectionist hole with producing because I wasn't putting a lot of pressure on myself. I'm like, no, I'm a DJ, like, you know? So, but when I was making music, I was like having fun and just making ideas, little ones here and there, and not afraid to just do that and like not expect that every track is gonna be the #1 banger of all time. So just being comfortable to go in and throw paint onto the canvas is something that I think a lot of people get held back from, because they get caught up in a loop. But yeah, so can you please run through effects and when you use them? Yes. So for the effects, let's say one of my favorites is echo of all of them. So I will set it to the channel that I want it to echo on. And then these right here, these frequencies, like you can choose if it's going to hit on the low end or if it's going to hit on the mids where like the vocal is, or if it's going to hit on the highs, like all the tops and everything. So when I'm doing an echo, usually I like it to hit on the high and the mid. Like, what's cooler than a vocal echoing out? I don't know. So I cut the mid, or I cut the low. That's a track. Cut the mid range, drop the bass. And I'll have it on here. And so like I like, you know, you can set it at, and then you set which rate you want it to hear. Like at 16th, it's going to be really fast. 8th starts, you know, spreading out on the 1. So I'll just show you all of them. Like we'll show you how fast it can get. Can you already tell with the energy being created here? This would be great to do this, to build the energy right before it drops.
Bitch, you know I'm sexy. Don't call, just text me. Bitch, it's slow, can't get on my skin. Stay there, cause they know I know. TGIRL. You know I am that girl. Bitch, don't get them. It's FEMME. You know I am that. The fuck?
Like totally ham on that so you can feel that, but you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's my favorite effects is the echo. Reverb is great also. Just build the tension, send it through. Flanger. So you make little alien noises, have some fun. And then these effects over here are awesome, like the dub echo. Watch the dub right before the drop. I just did a little noise there just to kind of create, you know, it's like you're producing. It's the same, you know? Well, that's why I use effects. It's a time for me to produce energy in the track. So use effects when you want to produce on the fly here. Okay, so what is next? What did I miss? Who are your favorite DJs? You guys, all of you. How long do you spend on each track? I'm not sure if I'm hyper fixating on sounds. Should I try to make a whole song through basic components and make small clips, or that I can use to mix songs? I get off Bandcamp. I don't know if I understand the end of it, but how long do I spend on each track? Like, as if when I'm producing it, how long do I spend on a track? That is just dependent on the track. I mean, I like to give, you know, ample time if I'm flowing with the idea, but if I'm getting hung up on something and it's just kind of not sounding like it's going anywhere, I'll start a new one. I'm not going to get lost in a loop. Oh my gosh, I love the parallel lives that we have with the Genevieve Jarvis. Sorry if I said that wrong, but they have the same background as me. Awesome. Okay, so then Melody, I currently DJ at local bars and clubs. Any tips on getting booked in clubs in other cities and festivals? So, I feel like the best thing you can do is, you know, showcase your talents online at this point, because these venues aren't going to know about you unless they're recommended by some other DJ or promoter that says, like, you know, because think about it, it's really hard to, like, how do you know anybody? It's like, that's what's beautiful about having on social media and all that, which I can't believe I said that, but you know what I mean? Like, that is the only way that you can really, like, get stuff pushed out and shared to the masses, is by sharing, like, what you're doing and what your energy you're giving when you're mixing, like what kind of music you're playing, and then other people can find out. But that's kind of how I got started playing outside of California when I first started DJing. Before I had an agent and management, I had just been posting what I'm up to, and this person saw that and that person saw that, and then they invited me out to Vegas. So can you also tell us the balance you have for playing for yourself, curating a vibe, versus playing requests and what people want to hear? I know some DJs are pretty strict. Yes, that's a great question. I honestly think that just be true to yourself, bruh. It's literally YOLO. You only live once. Be true to yourself, and if you like DJing to the crowd and like doing stuff that's best for you or best for everybody else, then that's like you being true to yourself, right? So if you being true to yourself is playing hard techno, that's what you do. And you know, but that's the reality, is the local bar is not going to have you come play because they want to hear more house or hip hop or something. So You know, it's up to you what feels authentic. If you want to be saying like you can play all these different vibes and genres, you're just like a chameleon out here, then that's being true to you, and then you play for that, you do that. But if you're a unique artist, play your vibe, because authenticity is honestly the best currency out there. And with playing with sound, playing with music, vibes don't lie. I know I keep saying vibes and energy, but it is a real thing. So you know, be mindful of that and how you put yourself out there and do it from an authentic place. What are some tips, example for creating a cohesive set list that captures a certain energy or vibe? Okay, so to create some cohesiveness within the set, I do think that it is important to, like, you know, figure out where you're trying to go. Are you trying to keep this like a steady, groovy, vibey set, just keeping it steady? Then you know you're not going to be having certain tracks thrown in the middle of your playlist that are super high energy and going to change things up. You're going to keep it all in the same energy. That's very hard for me to do because I have a lot of emotions and I have a lot of energy. So, you know, for me, when I have different tastes and things that I'm wanting to share in one set, creating the cohesiveness, I find it within keeping things in the BPM range. So I'm not, you know, typically, sometimes I'll do it, but I'm not going from like a 135 UKG track to a 164 D&B track. I'll make my way there. So I think that creates some cohesiveness, is building within the BPMs instead of just bopping around and whatever. And then staying within key is also great for creating cohesiveness. Like if you're playing a bunch of C minor tracks, play a couple more of those. Keeps it like a cohesive vibe there. And then if you organize your set lists by genre, then say you drop a drum and bass track, drop a couple more, you know, kind of creates that cohesiveness with the energy before you switch out to something else. Aw, Austin, you're so sweet. Of course, it's my pleasure. It was great to get to catch up with y'all and like tap in here. I know that we'll be having some more classes coming out this spring. It's been pretty crazy busy and I'm on studio grinds right now. So I'm gonna go back to the studio. But I had so much fun getting to catch up with everyone here, and send me a message. I'll be when I'm coming out of my hole, I'll be getting all social again. But March 16th, yes, LA, if you're in town, please come to my party. It's the first party I'm throwing, and it's just the start of something new. I want to put on unique style artists, like bringing something different and some, you know, booty shaking stuff. We're gonna have fun. But awesome. Well, thank you all so much for the love, and I'm sending you lots of good vibes on your journey in music, and just don't take it too seriously. Have some fun, and you know, put your best foot forward always, and you can't lose. Awesome. Thank you.
I Don't call, just text me. Bitches slow, can't get on my speed. They stare cause they know I'm the ITGIRL. You know I am that girl. Bitch, don't kiss and tell. It comes from ATL. ITGIRL. You know I am that. The fuck? ITGIRL. You know I am that.